Hi, another round of the arena. 13th. Was it a lucky number? Well, you can judge for yourself. This time, as Supreme Commander, I raised the bar for my faction. Objective, watchtowers and at least one castle of the enemy faction. As you saw in the video thumbnail, we captured 2 towers. Without a magic ring, but with the strength of our castle. But honestly, where has this got us? What if I did it differently? If I took the burden and entered our clan castle as a lord? What if? You won't find out right now. The answers will be in the video. I invite you to watch the film, but bring your own popcorn. Mainly, my plan was based on the behavior of the neighboring faction. In this case, it was Baratheon. If they also built army unit buildings, I would move to plan B, which is trade. However, once they started trading, I had no choice but to attack. It wasn't a bad plan. I based my choice of units on odds. I remembered from the first match that all watchtowers had the same units, but it is random. I hoped there would be cavalry or infantry inside. Or perhaps archers. The only option that would completely ruin my plans were spearmen. I definitely didn't want to see them in watchtowers. There were 2 goals, watchtowers and the castle of the neighboring faction. Of course, I did not believe that the first few attacks would be successful without strengthening the castle's army from the warriors' altars. First the altars, then the takeover. But the mere increase in the number of armies meant that we slightly reduced the enemy's army. Compared to the attack on us by House Tyrell, the difference is considerable in quantity. 15 minutes after the start of the match, the protective bubble disappears from the watchtowers. Then the clan castles attack the towers. A quick scan, and inside I saw this. I was lost for words. Already at that moment I knew that we had a very, very hard nut to crack. However, there is a chance if we capture enough warrior altars. There is also a problem here, because no one wanted to give them up without a fight. Another way to increase the strength of your castle army is to take over Dragon Pit. Using a dragon in a castle army fight increases the chances of a successful takeover or defense. Just breaking through the Dragon Pit's defenses is one thing, but standing against the attacks of other factions is a completely different matter. And that's what I was talking about. Not only is he my nemesis, but he also has a legendary commander. Bleed Synergy. We have Sonara here, increasing the number of attacks. Sonara also silences all allies, so the selection of commanders here is excellent in this respect. There is Ree, who needs critical attacks to activate bleeding. This is a passive skill, and on top of that it is silenced itself. There is Lero, who gives a chance for a critical attack every few attacks. Also a passive skill, so Sonara doesn't do any harm to him. There is also Kevin, who is not strictly related to bleed synergy, but to the number of attacks. Each attack made by melee fighters gives a 15% chance to create a barrier that absorbs some of the damage. Great for Sonara spam, especially since the last commander is Jon Snow. Jon is a well-balanced commander. At the same time, it provides damage reduction at the beginning of the battle, and also gives a constant chance of a critical hit with each attack. The only downside is that it does not affect the entire battle, but only its initial part. But it sets the pace very well, because after a dozen or so seconds there is nothing to collect from the opponent. That is, from me. He smeared me all over the walls. That's exactly what I meant when I said they wouldn't give up the warrior altars without a fight. This time it was spear to spear. Apart from the size of the army, which determined the outcome of this clash, one thing I can say about the enemy is an almost perfect squad, lacking not only the commander, but also an exclusive weapon. Miranda, because this is her we're talking about, is good without her exclusive weapon. Just good. In a weakness synergy setting, it will work as a spear support. However, her exclusive weapons give her character that is missing here. Everything, except for Miranda, is centered around Jane. Drake heals, Arslan heals, Hector heals. The 3 of them allow Jane to activate his Awaken skill, causing his regular attacks to turn into weak spot attacks. This works great against 3 of the 4 unit types. This squad will be great in 1v1 or 1 versus rally, but it will be less effective in a rally versus rally fight. Completely opposite to mine, where in 1v1 fights I make up for it with luck and bravado. Good setup. Just find a weapon for Miranda and you can conquer 3/4 of the world. We have captured the watchtower, but it is a winning battle in a losing war. The plan fell apart when it was revealed what exactly was in the tower. If you've noticed, I wasn't the only one scanning the towers, hoping there was something other than spears there. What if I entered the clan castle as a lord? Would it make a difference? Possible. I'll find out soon enough, because if we've made it to the tower once, we'll do it again, and then again and again. However, the match is still on. There was the last hope left to get out of 6th place and take over the castle of the Baratheon clan. The opponents are strong, but there is still a chance because the last minutes of battles in Arena of Honor are sometimes very chaotic. Trial by fire, to hell, through hell and below hell. Will we be able to take over House Baratheon Castle and come out of 6th place in the last moments of this match? Nope, unfortunately, not this time. For the 3rd time this season I have dropped points, but it's not like we just lost. I will tell you more about it at the after party, which I invite you to. Unfortunately, I tried to bite too much and choked. The point stuck in my throat and that's how it ended. The plan wasn't that bad after all. Unfortunately, there was no luck. Bad unit fit in watchtower, too aggressive approach. We're still too small for that. But this defeat proved to me that we can do it. We can take over the towers. But what if we don't get it right again? Are we in danger of relegation again and thus losing my crown? But what if my modified plan works this time? I don't consider this match a failure. This is a lesson I finally had to learn. Every stick has 2 ends. One you can get hit with and the other has a carrot. This time the carrot passed me by, but I'm a stubborn rabbit and I'll bite it again. The only question is, will it be this season? The end of this season is scheduled for June 18th. Not counting tomorrow's round, there is one Sunday left that does not conflict with War of the Kingdoms, i.e. in 2 weeks, 2 days before the end of the season. Oh, things are going to happen. See you soon, and I hope the next round will be good for us. Stay tuned until the next one.